Hi, I'm Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah?
Who do you play? Which angel are you?
I'm Whis. Who are you?
I'm the Grand Minister, your
You
daddy.
my dad. You my brother.
Play Sour, and his universe is gone.
Woo! Well, not anymore.
Maybe it's in the void.
It's, well, it could be come back.
So yeah, anybody caught up on Loki? Never mind.
Everybody been watching? Who's been watching Loki?
Nice.
Those of you that did not raise your hands need to figure out what's wrong with your life.
Yeah. Unless you're doing that thing where you wait so you can watch all the episodes at once.
It's the farmer. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's
power level
I
10.
love that.
Perfect. Good to go.
I think
OG power level right there.
That is the character I think of anytime we think of, like, we never get to do Texas accents or anything, like, in general, but there's something about the people who live outside of West City that are just, oh, how you doing? Like, I love it. Oh, what's going on over there? Oh, they're probably testing some. Okay, yeah, like, so we're supposed to do an angel panel, but, like, we're three friends that have known each other for ever, a decade, so, like...
Keeps picking everything up, so I'm just gonna turn that on.
Okay.
You can hear me, right?
Great. So we can really talk about anything. Do not feel that you need to be restricted to any sort of conversation about Dragon Ball, even though that will be the thing that everybody knows what you're talking about if you do that. If you start bringing up Golden Kamuy, like three of you might know what that is.
My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan.
Yeah, talk about anything. We can talk about
Tokyo Ghoul.
Tokyo Ghoul. So we didn't have anything structured because we just kind of found out about this.
We just found out we had a panel.
We're
15
here to,
minutes
you
ago.
know, so we're here to just talk with y'all because we're glad to be around people. If you have a question, please raise your hand because I'm gonna speak for me. I'm super ADHD, so it's really hard for me to not just bounce around.
Otherwise, we're just going to start talking about Dragon Ball
through the whole time.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, when did you watch Z first? Dragon Ball first? What was your? Yeah, Z was kind of my intro too. Did you?
I think I actually started with the original Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
which back when it would show up at like 2 o'clock in the morning
Yeah.
on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
OG.
And I remember being very frustrated with Dragon Ball Z growing up because you had commercials and there wasn't a lot of consistency with. Sometimes they would stick to a saga, but sometimes they would bounce around episodes. And it's like if you're in the middle of a fight, it might be an entire episode of like close-ups, and then it's like that's all the Dragon Ball you get today.
Yep.
Back before the
Frieza's
fancy
face,
internet.
Frieza's face going, ah! Goku's face going, ah!
Next time.
This is going to be the nostalgia panel for just a minute. Y'all remember when you could buy Dragon Ball only using like the VHSs that had like 5 episodes on it, and like to get like was it like I can't remember at this point because it was so long ago.
Yeah, 3 times. 3 episodes
Oh, God.
per VHS. $45 to $50 a pop per VHS. 3 episodes at Sam Goody.
I still have a bunch of those, and like to get like the Cell Saga is just a library of VHS. Okay.
And if you had all the VHSs, it created one big picture of the saga.
Just real quick, because people used to have to do this to me with 8 tracks. So a VHS was this big rectangle with magnet tape, and we thought it was a good way to store media. It's not. It gets bad over time. You have to rewind it. You can't just be like, I'm gonna go to this part. It was awful. Now you guys can just get Funimation Now on the app and watch the entirety of Dragon Ball. I'm not trying to pimp the company right now, but like if you're an anime fan and like you're like, oh, okay, just get the subscription. Like it's like Hulu price, and then you can watch anything and all of it. I say the same thing for
anime that Funimation has ever owned, dubbed, subbed, anything for the 25 years that it's been around.
This is so much to watch.
There's a lot. You'll never watch it all. You never will. I can't. I gave up.
Oh God, yeah. No. You watch what you can.
You find the stuff you like, watch.
You should be. That has been away from Funimation long enough that not everybody knows that anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know you should be watching? Does anybody not know what I'm talking about?
When we say you should.
Hey! No, that's
You're
awesome.
new to the funny crew. Welcome.
They used to do that all the time and be like, Funimation, you should be watching.
Good Lord, sir. Do not put that next to your mouth.
It was funnier that way.
I always read it as you should be watching.
Okay.
Or you should be watching.
You should be watching.
You should.
I have a friend that just like listens to media, and it kills me for that reason. Like, you should be watching it.
You should be watching.
You should. There's a lot of asides. Anyway, we're gonna keep doing this again as friends who used.
Until you raise your hand. Who's got a question?
Oh hi.
Hi, I have a question for Josh.
Yes.
Armin versus Yuri Katsuki, who would win in a fight?
Armin versus Yuri Katsuki, who would win in a fight?
Fair question.
I would imagine that once Yuri starts doing triple salcals in midair, he is just as effective at killing Titans as Armin. Especially since he's wearing them on his feet. He's got his parry blades on his feet. That's a close call. I don't think Armin is anywhere near as physically capable as Yuri is, but he can fly around. He's got the brains. That's good. That's a hard. Yeah, Armin's got the brains. Yuri's got the physicality. So like, make them do the fusion dance, and they're practically Mikasa.
Is this like a Batman situation where it's like if you give Armin enough time, like Armin's gonna win?
Maybe.
Because like Batman wins anything if you give him enough time.
Yeah, Yuri would run if Yuri can't take out Armin fast enough, he'll run out of energy, and then Armin just brain him to death. You know. So yeah,
there you go.
Thank you. Great question. Not even Dragon Ball related. It doesn't have to be yes.
Ian, you versus Austin, who would win in a fight?
We're getting a little personal now.
Shall we take bets?
We're lovers, not fighters. Someone did this to me and why am I blanking on his name? Obvious husband.
Oh,
Micah. So you saw it. Someone did that to us at a Q&A. Don't do that.
Micah trying to get y'all to fight.
Mike is the nicest person. Next question.
And the answer is neither one of us
We'll get to
fight.
that in a second.
We're
Yes,
not
sir.
fighters.
So, first of all, thanks for being here. It's awesome to see you.
Thank you all for
Thank
being
you.
here. You survived!
You did it.
You did it!
Not everybody's saying anymore. And we appreciate it. Thanks for coming to the show.
So, I'll keep it Dragon Ball related. Who individually, who are your favorite Dragon Ball characters?
All right.
Individually, Dragon Ball. I mean,
Here you go. There you go.
Vegeta.
I think as from just the standpoint of like an actor, like he has the best character arc of the entire
Yeah.
show, hands down.
Yeah. Well, he already said Vegeta, so I'm going to deviate. Trunks? No. When I was a kid, it was always Trunks. Hardcore. But that's because, you know, like, I was watching it at that age, and so he's the you, he's your proxy, and so I was watching it, like, yeah, I'm going to cut Frieza with the old sword. And so, yeah, Trunks was my favorite. I think now, Beerus is one of my favorites. I really like Beerus. But, yeah.
I think Beerus really kind of.
Beerus is great, man. He's just this lazy cat who's like, I'm gonna break things if I want. You're pissing me off. So like, we're sorry. And I'm like, no.
This is Angels and Gods. Where's Beerus?
He was sleeping. He slept in today.
Yeah,
That
that's
made
why
me
the
laugh.
cat's not here.
He does that. What about you?
Yajirobe.
Yeah!
That's really good. That's good. Oh, that's good. I love it when you're like shooting up in the future. It's like, he's
You're still alive?
He's survived. I remember saying that.
He knew how to survive. That's all he was good at was
Hey,
survive.
what are you doing? That's right. Cut off tail.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
question.
That's good question. Yeah.
Hang on, this gentleman had a
Oh,
question
well,
as
yeah.
well.
So when you guys are in the voice booth doing your voice acting, do you guys get like a tone of the show, and does that affect how you feel with your character? Like example, going through the Tournament of Power, like I always had the vibe that the Grand Minister was up to some sus stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like did you get that feeling like ahead of the script, like maybe I am gonna be the bad guy?
Yeah, I definitely kind of felt like there was so many fan theories going around that
Right.
time too, and like seeing like, you know, people kept harping on that one episode, the close-up image of his face after he erases a universe and he just looks so satisfied with it and everything. People were like, "It's gotta be the villain." And I'm like, I'm down for that. I would love to see the dude fight at some point. I don't know though. After they ended Super that way, I have absolutely no idea where they're going to go with him. I feel like he's just going to continue to be that kind of major domo, sort of like, but who knows? Definitely got that inkling, but we kind of had to. You can go into the booth with stuff like that, but then you kind of have to, like, if it's not something that's completely canon, or we know for a fact that that's what we're doing, you got to throw that out. We can't mention it. We can't even any sort of fan theory. Even if we would talk about stuff, like we would harp on theories with like Raleigh, who was usually directing and recording Dragon Ball Super at the time, for pretty much the whole thing, and we would constantly go back and forth about, like, did you hear about this? What if this is the outcome? What if this thing? Because we don't know. Toei doesn't tell us crap. We find out usually from you people, from you guys. So, we kind of have to go in with just as much knowledge as we can find, and then just hope that, you know, whatever we know is what's going to be portrayed.
And we preview it, like in Japanese. The benefit, the skill that we had to learn is like, watch a scene in a different language and then convey that same emotion with the script that you're provided. So like, you're at least like, I can watch it. My guy's on the screen, he's screaming and crying. That's a good direction that I should start in. And then, man, if you have a good director, then they kind of go, okay, all right, we're gonna work this through. Dragon Ball was one that we worked really hard on. I feel like that was one where it was every single line we needed to make sure that it was right.
Absolutely.
It was good for the lore. It was everything, you know, to the T. And
we had times where we'd be uncertain about a line and then have to stop session completely and wait for an answer back from writers or something until they verified that the way we were phrasing it or the way that we were delivering the line was absolutely hitting what needed to be hit, especially if it was filled with any sort of references to previous events in the lore. Like, we could not mess that up.
And then sometimes you also see something in the script that you're like, that's a thing. They're making, like, the way that the music is doing a thing, and like, you know,
There's the other place where you get that too.
Yeah?
Where you get to listen to the fight music during your fight scene that you're recording.
It's okay, so we used to have to do a thing so the elements, the background music, the sound effects, all that kind of stuff. What, 5 years ago we used to do it with the mixed out element? We didn't have those. Like, a lot of times we were just kind of doing it to no sound. Mm-hmm. Now, like, just the way that the process is streamlined, we get the music and everything. And I did one show where literally my entire direction was do your voice to match the music. If you just match the music, you got it. That's it.
It's so much easier to cry, too.
Oh my God, crying is so much, because it's just the saddest music, and you just listen to it kind of go out. So much easier. Hope that answered.
I play a lot of small characters in Dragon Ball, and I'm collecting food-named characters. Right now, sour raspberry leek. Doesn't that sound delicious?
I'd put that in a tea. I'd have that bubble tea.
It's the onion. It's the onion that's stopping me, though. I'm like, sour raspberry. Yeah,
the onion's the hero.
It's like the
grill
grill.
it.
Coat
it.
Okay, no. You grill it, yeah, with like a reduction, like a sour raspberry reduction.
Yeah.
That does sound
vinaigrette.
tasty. Here's your Whis. Some Whis at you.
That's an LLC name right there, too.
Sour raspberry leaf.
Oh, that's good.
Patent pending. That's it.
Yeah, right. Oh, to what?
It's protein.
All right, cool. Her and then you. Yes, ma'am.
Me?
Android 21, yes.
There you go. I got you.
Can I?
Thanks, Hercule.
Anytime.
I have a question
Mr. Saint.
for Austin.
Oh, trick.
What was it like voicing Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul?
It was, you know, it was all right.
Laugh riot.
It was so much fun. It was great. It was cathartic. It was meant to be. It's hard to describe because I was a different person at the time, and after playing that role, my life changed quite a bit. I got to sit with that character for a long time because it was like between the first thing I recorded and the last thing I recorded, it was over 4 years. And that also was the timeline and growth of the character within the anime. So there was a lot of congruity there. That a lot of that stuff seemed to mirror my own desire to eat human flesh. But I learned a lot from the process. It was, strangely enough, it was less physically and vocally straining than like villainous characters, because it's like a lot of open-throated, like weepy screaming instead of like gritty
Aggressive
screaming, or like exposition-filled screaming, which is terrible. Like I did a thing with Accelerator where I had to scream this, like my evil plans. But I'm screaming as fast as I can, as quickly as I can. And then it ends with the, how dare you do this to me? And like an E is a horrible vowel sound to try to like end on. We actually, I think at the last minute, like I was like, can we write this like maybe to like are you doing this to me now, or something like ow type of deal, or oh, or ooh, or so that it was great.
I'm sure that was pretty rough, especially during, like, you had those, like, 3 episodes in a row at the end of that first season where you're essentially just being tortured.
Yeah.
And, like, going through all that mental stuff.
Mike was pretty kind about that. He prepared me for it. I came in already with the Chinese secret honey.
Honey loquat,
Pepper.
yeah,
Pepper.
hop juice.
It's this menthol honey that is very useful. And then I had soaked raw ginger in honey, and I was chewing ginger and then spitting it into a sake cup in between takes, which is like not good long term, but it keeps things from swelling up. So we got through it. And Mike McFarlane was nice enough to like pretty much everything that happens in those torture scenes was the first take. Maybe there's 1 or 2 things we went back and did again. But
That's rough.
No, okay. When you said something I'm really thinking about. Do you think maybe it hurt less because when you're doing screams of pain and everything, it's kind of almost an internal kind of scream for you and a release scream, whereas a villainous scream is forward, like energy and having to push because it has aggression?
Yeah, that could definitely help with where it's coming from and how it's being supported. I also wonder, like, just what the vocal, like the folds are going through with certain vowel sounds over other ones, and which ones end up getting used more often.
The amount of air you're pushing over your vocal cords too. Like, and a lot of times those big, angry, like those really big, loud, angry scenes where your throat is just wide open and air is just like that throat, that'll dry you out so quick. But yeah, like if it's that painful, like crying sort of screaming, you tend to shorten your air passage, and so then all of a sudden you have much less air and your cords don't dry out as fast. So it kind of helps.
Interesting. I didn't think about it, just the wetness of
We don't have time to think about it.
Gotta get those cords wet.
Yeah, keep them. That's why we keep things like this on us at all times during recording sessions.
Do you guys ever use green apples?
I learned that in LA, and I haven't done it back in Texas since then. But yeah, like to clean mouth noise up.
Yeah. If you're getting the lip like smacky, I can never keep them around long enough for when it is necessary.
Yeah. Did you ever what is it about that?
If you eat apples and you're way too limited, it just cuts.
If you sound like this on the microphone, then eat a couple of.
Take a bite or two.
Take a bite or two of a Granny Smith, and apparently it cleans it right up. It's so weird.
I wonder if it has to do with the acid thing. If we could use some citric acid. I put a little bit of lemon in my stuff to try to get the same stuff.
Voice acting is science. Any other questions? Yes, you had a question.
Yeah, so what is like the most like funny, weird, interesting experience while recording, or just being in the studio in general?
Give some stories.
Tell us a story.
I did this one show in my boxers last year, and you guys won't know which one. I did multiple shows, some of them AAA, in my boxers last year, in my closet. That's my life. Because it's in the hottest room in my house and there's no ventilation for it.
Yeah.
And everybody, as soon as COVID hit, all of us had to figure it out. It was just like, agents were like, figure it out as soon as you can.
You gotta build a home booth yesterday.
I record naked all the time.
See, I haven't done naked, but I've like started absolutely fully clothed, but if it's a 3 to 5 session on like, it was last summer, and it was so hot, and I just remember just being on that, I'll be like, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I didn't start naked, but
But you end like just dripping. Like last year, I remember dripping sweat, so now I'm trying to get all my stuff earlier morning, because I know how hot that room is. 10 to 2, that's
I added, I cut a hole,
funny, right?
cut a hole in my closet and then ran a duct from the vent that was in the bedroom into the closet. Doesn't help that much.
It's so small.
Still sweating.
I have a series of fans that like, they'll hear me be like, they'll be like, okay, Ian, so all right, we're gonna place that. And as soon as they start placing, they hear the door open and then click, 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 and 3 different fans all just start going on me, and I'm like, okay, ready for the next one? I stop that fan and then I do my take, and that's how I get through work now.
I don't think I could ever go back. Like, I know we're gonna have to soon, but I don't want to go back to being in the studio, in the booth. I don't ever want to do that again.
If we all band together to just come up with an excuse for why we need to stay, like they should be at the studio.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Everybody need to be in the studio.
You have your internet connection there. You connect to us wherever we are. We record it. It's fine. It works great.
It works great.
We just did it for a year and a half. We proved it works great. What's the point of having an office at this point when everybody can do it? I know. I have my cats with me. I've got my dog occasionally whenever he's not messing up a tape.
Great snacks. You got the best refreshments. Like.
Feels like home. Wait.
What's warming up like for you for morning sessions? I mean, because I have gotten out of bed at 9:55 to go and do a session.
At 10. Older again. It's like last
it's
3
not good.
years now. Now I just can't, because if I try to push low and stuff like that, I have to do like 20 minutes like I have to now. That happens. The older you get. 20-year-old. Yeah, weirdly. Like I've got to do some like la 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 la, or if I haven't voice acted in a week just because I haven't been booked for it, I sit in the shower and do it. Just I'm fine. I'm fine. Just
Get all the gunk
oh my god! Because if you don't use your instrument for a few days, they're like, it was the holiday weekend, so like
it atrophies. There's like just
been voice acting on the weekend. Yes, you do. It's a muscle.
My favorite way to warm up is to like describe what I'm pissed off about that day.
Okay.
So go in there and be like, you know what just happened? And then I just tell how upset I am. And then you go through all the vocal ranges.
I used to do the one that you do, that you taught me.
Yeah.
The yeah, it's like 30 minutes of doing it every time, but now it's mostly like, wake up. All right, that's playing now. All right, where's my coffee? Which is also horrible for me.
Baby. Anyway, yes, there's a hand in the back. There's a Pride Trooper, but the Whis first apparently.
Yeah.
Then Pride Trooper.
I think we can all agree that the Angels are the top tier, right? It goes like
Obvious.
So how do y'all feel if, like, say Dragon Ball continues a few years later, and then a big baddie shows up, and he's like one-shotting Angels, like power creeping Angels? Because it's eventually gonna happen, right? I think that'd be a cool thing. Like, how do you think they're gonna handle that? Because eventually that ceiling is gonna get reached. Well, I think.
Before you answer, just remember, take everything that we're saying here with a grain of salt, because we have absolutely no freaking clue.
No idea. You're about to get a bunch of sarcastic hits. I mean, I gotta say, using Beerus as this person might be like stronger than Beerus or whatever. If someone was stronger than your house cat, that doesn't mean it's stronger than you. Like, if I can beat up your cat, that doesn't mean I can beat you up. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that, okay, so someone might be stronger than Beerus. Okay. Do I think if someone's gonna outpace the Angels? No. Do I think that maybe you might have issues with angels? Maybe the angels stop putting up with everybody's crap? That's absolutely a thing that I think could happen. Do I know anything? No. Do I want it to be that? Yes, very much so. I would like us to be bad guys.
Absolutely.
Because then I would have to explain how Whis was that way the whole time, and just like have this whole like, I mean, I didn't care. It was my cat.
Like the TVA.
Yes, TVA. Just like the TVA. Oh my God, we're the TVA. Oh crap.
Oh, no, okay, I don't know. We're gonna need to talk about that.
We're gonna need to talk about that.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Now the pride trooper in the back.
Yes.
For Ian Sinclair, do you think that Goku Vegeta will ever be able to beat Whis?
No. No.
But what about Superman though?
Oh, okay. So if the debate is Superman versus Goku, the answer is Whis. Oh my God! As soon as trust me, not the biggest Superman fan, and I'm trying. I'm actively reading Superman to try to like him, but like, man, the second I knew for a fact that I played a character that could just wail on Superman, it meant a lot. It meant a lot. Superman's dumb. He's dumb.
He doesn't have a universe-destroying cat, does he? I don't see Kal-El with Super Cat.
All he needs to do is try to protect the planet, and he'll just frickin' destroy it in any battle he's in. I'm sorry, that man. Anyway, hi.
Who are your guys' favorite angels?
I'd have to go with mine too. I like the Grand Minister a lot.
Okay, not us though.
Brittany's angel is really fun. The little, if that's my daughter, she's my favorite. Like, obviously. It's okay, son.
I'm your son.
Yeah. Yeah, but she's just always so happy. You have that dour little troll of a cat always. I told you to adopt a different animal.
Therapy 20 years ago, what was it? Next question.
Can you guys see the powder go out of the fart?
It makes it all the grosser.
That was wet.
We are totally going to do a lightning round at the end of it, but we are not at that point yet.
We got several hands up, we've got plenty, like 3 people over here, 2 people in the middle, 2 people over here. What do we want to do? We kind of want to work our way, or?
I don't have my glasses. I can't see anything.
Oh, got it. Let's start over here. You, sir, in the far left corner here. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Vegeta and Goku continue to get stronger and such, the power scaling toward Beerus, and people say that they are in fact becoming more powerful than Beerus. But yet, we have not seen Beerus really do anything to challenge that power. So, do you believe that Beerus has actually ever shown any effect of his power?
Nope.
Or kind of just, waiting?
No, he has not shown. And that's what I really think, honestly, my prediction is that when there are battles way down the line, again, I feel like they're gonna fight Beerus again. I think at some point, and this is my theory, at some point, Vegeta's gonna find out that Beerus kinda, sorta told Frieza to destroy his planet, and therefore Beerus is kinda, sorta the reason that Vegeta's not a king. And his people are dead, and he's gonna be real pissed. He is. I mean, that's gonna happen. It's there. Whis has hinted at it multiple times. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do an anime and you're like, I bet that's gonna be a thing, man. Because I've said that like 2 or 3 times now. And I've said like, would you like to be a destroyer? I think he's grooming them. And apparently in the manga, they're doing something where like Beerus is learning destroyer energy. Sorry, Vegeta is learning destroyer energy from Beerus. Because that makes way more sense.
Yep.
Let's have the guy with anger issues learn destructive power, and the guy who just doesn't think learn how not to think. Are we really surprised that Goku is the person who learned how not to think? It's not a far trip.
Work with what you got, I guess.
I'll think less? Got it.
I've been practicing this my whole life.
Punch things.
But
I mean, the fact that they've kept alluding to that too throughout the entire thing about like,
Vegeta might replace Beerus as, because remember, we've talked about, because didn't Jiren at the end of it, or no, not Jiren, somebody from the top, thank you, Talk became a freaking destroyer for his universe. They looked for replacements. So I'm wondering if Vegeta is ultimately supposed to become the destroyer for his universe. Is Goku, like, I don't think he's going to replace Whis, because you can't replace an angel.
I don't know about the
if,
ascension of angels. That I don't know about.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is an ascension or if they are a race. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think anybody really knows. But that's a good point. And that's.
I think the Grand Minister is tired of being the babysitter of God and is looking for a replacement, and Goku could be it. Because look at the person who would constantly entertain that baby. Goku.
You're right, dude. Again, this is what we do on like a weekend. Like,
yeah. Good thing.
Orange good question though. You had a question. You.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like you just said a minute ago, do you think that there's definitely going to be like a rematch?
I think so.
Absolutely.
And it's because they.
So do you think that if Goku does beat Beerus, do you think that's good for the show or bad for the show? Goku, there's always kind of been that benchmark of Goku's always wanted something to strive for.
I mean, the theory that I have, and just because I'm thinking about like what is good story structure and what would be a nice little into it, would be them Vegeta being a destroyer and Goku being the one who keeps him in line. Like, doesn't that make sense? Like, that's the end of it, is that they battle forever. Like, that sounds like a good, like, oh, okay, cool.
Doesn't
it though?
Yeah. A nice way to wrap up the whole thing in a pretty little bow. They battle forever.
That's
eternal rivals and our guardians at the same time.
And it's a good final battle because it is somebody who has been their friend then for that long, and he's finally showing his. I remember we've been like, you didn't show much of your power, did you? Shut up, I barely used any. I'm like, I know, it's cute.
And you know, Vegeta kind of got revenge on Frieza, but not really ever. Did he ever achieve that? And you want to talk about now, if he ever finds out who the actual person who ordered that destruction, Beerus, is behind it, and like he could finally get his vengeance.
Oh, and he's already said, like, one day I'm gonna beat you. I'm coming for you. Like, he's coming for Beerus eventually. It's gonna happen. And it's gonna be badass.
We had some questions in here. Where were they? Yes.
Okay, fine.
Me?
Yes.
Okay, I had one question for all of you and one for Ian. So
2 questions.
Yeah, if that's okay.
Yeah.
All right, who's the, like, out of all the people you voiced, who's the person that, like, you've had the most fun voicing? And then for Ian specifically, is there a food, like, you've tried solely off just how good it sounded, like, you had the voice describing it?
All right. That one I'll just say curry buns. That was the first one I did that on. It was Black Butler episode. Agni made curry fried buns, and I thought that was the coolest thing. And I found out actually, it's hard to find exactly that, but it is a Japanese dish that you can find. You can find them frozen if you want. But at the time I was only able to find like curry empanadas, and I sought them out, found them, and they were delicious. And now I've had the other ones. Have a lot more panko crust on it. You answer the other question.
The question, let's see. That's hard to choose. Like, most fun. I mean, there's things about Saddam Mountain, the Devil is a Part-Timer, that makes him very fun. There's things about Armin that make him very fun. There's things about Tyrion and Ruby that's pretty. Armin can be fun.
I always think about it's because you get to. Like,
when he's not going.
Every time, I'm not in it much, but every time I do it, it's just like, everyone is dying! Don't you let us die more!
Yeah. Because you're the head of the military police. That's kind of your job, is to be that guy.
And the rest of it's just fruits basket around it.
Absolutely, yeah. Everything is just like going on dates with the Titans. We're learning about ourselves.
I have no idea. And that's the thing. Just so you know, that is a thing that us actors experience every once in a while. Because sometimes you'll have a character and they only like, all I do is
You weren't in the Peach episode.
Like, yeah, like, as Whis, I've never yelled. I've never like had to raise my voice and scream in Dragon Ball, but everybody else is like has a much different experience. So that's Attack on Titan apparently. Dating, shoujo, and like decapitations, eating people. Huh?
If I had to pick one, I'd probably just say Kurenosuke from Princess Jellyfish. Just character meant a lot to me, and I got to kind of, there's a duality to the character that was a lot of fun to play between being the Kurenosuke that he showed on the street, and then fabulous Kurenosuke who just really let it all out, darling. And like, so yeah.
You said let it on. I'm gonna say Brooke or the narrator in Kaguya-sama. I'd probably say the narrator in Kaguya-sama, but Brooke is a real close second.
I was thinking of Kaguya too. I play Ishigami, and that's a fun role to do. But yeah, fun doesn't always have to mean that you're in a comedy. Like, psychopaths can be pretty fun to play, villainous people can be fun to play. Monoma from My Hero is a lot of fun. He got his big arc of probably ever this season, which was great. And it's always fun to try to figure out how to say those words. So, I don't know, yeah. Fun is anything where there's room to wiggle.
To play.
Yeah. Because if you're a protagonist, sometimes you just gotta...
My friends!
Yeah. You just gotta...
We'll get through this together!
You just gotta add an H to everything you say. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep, that's good.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the hero.
The secret to voice acting.
Yeah. If you want to sound like an anime hero, there you go. Put an H in front of that.
What do you mean?
My bloodline ability.
Next question. We got about one more question until we're gonna do a lightning round.
We had 2 or 3 over here.
And we're gonna grab as many as we can.
This one's for Ian. In the movie Broly, that "oh my" part that you added, was it scripted or?
No, that's in it. That's in it. That line is absolutely in it. Did I lean into a slightly more George Takeo mile? Yeah. Because you would too. You would have. If you saw it, you were Whis, you go, oh my. Next question. Who was next?
Do we have any more over here? I thought somebody else had it. Yeah. We had a couple. Okay.
After a recording session or going through like normal day things, do you like continue in that character's voice, or like if you order something on the phone or talk to someone, do you like do it in different characters?
Some stick with you.
Yeah.
Some stick with
The occasional drive-through shenanigans.
There are some voices that are the equivalent of vocal stemming that you just like Peter Clemens. That's this voice that every time he sees me, he's like, hey, we need to go to Sexy Car Wash. It brings me so much joy. Yeah. Just because he showed me this really weird Italian video from like he was like, have you ever seen this? This thing is crazy. And he showed it in the entire con that we went to. He'd be like, Sexy Car Wash. And there's something about Rolf from Ed, Edd and Eddy saying, Sexy Car Wash. Sexy Car Wash. That kind of stuff sticks with you. Like weird little noises that you just like to make afterwards. Yeah, but I mean, after you've done the job long enough, you kind of turn off the job after you leave it.
Yeah, very much so.
I was practicing learning how to do a Scottish accent recently, and I did enough of that there was a couple days where I was like, that's not how I normally speak.
Scott's hard.
School.
That's the first thing.
To get into it, I like to do a bit of a David Tennant first.
Ah, there you go.
Very David Tennant. Before I try to come down and do something a little more reasonable.
Yeah, you bring it
Like
down into that kind of guttural
How do you say the
area.
doublet of John
It's where I'm from too, so I think I should probably figure it out.
Hi, we should go. What time's the panel end?
Well, actually end on the hour.
Okay.
You guys go for another 10 minutes or something.
I would like to do my first lightning round since
COVID.
all this crap happened. So.
Hey Ian, do you want to do a lightning round?
I really do, dude.
I think we should do a lightning.
Here's how I like to do lightning rounds. It's one of my favorite things to do at cons back in the day. I want you guys to give us weird questions. Like, for real. Now, notice there are a bunch of people filming, and so we're going to have to modify our answers and not give you our real answers, because our real answers are probably dirty and hilarious, but too many people are filming, so sorry. So we would like you to give us questions that we can answer in just a couple words. We want to hit as many people as you can. Give me something weird. Ask if you had a magical unicorn, what flavor ice cream would it poop?
Rainbow sherbet.
Rainbow sherbet is the right answer. Chunky Monkey's good.
Rocky Road.
Rocky Road's great. I want to have this for the next 10 minutes. That cool?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Please raise your hands. Once we don't see any more hands, we're leaving you.
Frieza!
Okay. This one's for Ian.
if you could create your own technique for Whis, like his ultimate attack or something, what kind of move would that be?
It would be like a Stone Cold Stunner. Yeah, 100%.
Hey, turn me up though!
Cool, well, I don't, oh, there's a hand.
Favorite thing to have Whis ever say?
Favorite thing to have Whis ever say? When Goku asked, am I strong enough to fight you? And I went, no, no.
Anytime Whis goes,
Next.
If you had to have a unicorn, what would it look like?
What would my unicorn?
What's your unicorn look like?
I want a bicorn.
yes! A bicorn, yeah. Have you ever heard of a bicorn?
What color is your bicorn?
Purple.
I like it.
Absolutely.
With yellow highlights, like on the hooves and the tail.
See, I want to do that like the color change hat, kind of like the weird silver, but it's like rainbowy as it shimmers in the light.
I want my unicorn to look like toothpaste. Just crest flying through the air.
The Back to the Future hat.
I like it. The Back to the Future hat. Yes.
All three of you, favorite dad joke.
Why do you never see hippopotamuses hiding in trees?
Why?
Because they're good.
I can think of these horrible jokes now. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh yeah.
Dad jokes are clean though. You're clean.
Right. Okay. A termite walks into the bar and says, "Hey, is the bartender here?"
That's good. That's good. You got one?
Well, no, I can't remember how it goes properly.
Lightning round. Go.
Alright, so when Vegeta finds out Beerus hit Bulma, he yells, "My Bulma." When he finds out that Vegeta was destroyed, kind of, sort of, because Beerus let it happen, will he yell, "My Vegeta"?
My Vegeta. Yeah, you know, I think he might. That's good. Or it'd be Sadala. No, it was Sadala then Vegeta, yeah? That's how it worked out. Yes?
Ian, was any alcohol involved in making the live-action Space Dandy commercials?
No, I don't like day drinking, and that was all filmed during the day, and also I gotta be professional, so also no. But yes,
If you had any quirk, what would it be?
any quirk, what would it be?
The ability to be comfortable at any temperature.
That's good. All right, jump on the sun. You know,
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly.
Void of space.
Send me into the volcano.
I used to say healing factor, because then you're fine forever, but then that's really weird eventually. I like telepathy, and I would be a total troll. I would just knock people's hats off, and things would slip out of their hands. Why is that happening? Never do good with it.
I want a power called earworm. I can make you suddenly hear any song that I want, and it will be a fun one.
Okay, we said.
Okay, so if we ever do see the Angel's mom, you think she'll be hot?
I mean, have you seen the kids? Yes, beautiful. Yes.
Angel
Do
mom.
you think Whis ever pets Beerus?
Does he ever pet Beerus?
Yes. We do not gnaw on our kitty.
No, it's like he knocks him out and he's like, okay, bud. Okay, bud.
Just
Or
love
he's like
him, stroke
sleeping.
him.
But not just like, okay, all right. It's a thunderstorm.
You did knock him out at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I know. Because he doesn't like put him on his lap and he's like, who's a big boy? Next to the Pride Trooper. Have we ever pranked anyone with our voice?
No, but I was ordering ramen the other day and I went to pick it up and she was like, "This is a weird question, but are you Karma Akabane?" And I was like,
Dude, that, wasn't that Joel's show initially? The,
Assassination Class.
Hey, that classroom. Oh yeah, that was a fun one. Yes.
Can you explain Dragon Ball as poorly as possible?
As poorly as possible?
Yes, sir.
A banana. Good.
I mean, does that qualify as explaining it at all?
That was really poorly though.
Yeah, but
I take the assignment very seriously.
still, you can't it can't be like the job is like, hey, build a really crappy car and then you build a boat. That's not a crappy
That's a really crappy car. Can it drive? That's really crappy.
That's just not being.
This doesn't work on roads.
No, there's a degree within. There's parameters that for it to be a car.
Okay. So Superman but Japanese.
That's good.
Yes.
Does Beerus have a litter box and does Whis clean it?
Yes and no. We have someone for that. Yes.
The fish in the bowl.
Did you ever giggle when you called yourself Rashid the Turbulent
No, but now I wish I did. In the back. Who do we think of what now?
Out of the three of you, who do you think is the best?
You. Someone who hasn't asked a question. Good.
What's Whis' favorite way to torment the cat?
Laser pointer.
Yes, you.
If you could punch any anime character in the face, which one would you punch?
Ooh!
If we could punch any anime character in the face, who would it be?
Edward Elric.
Punch any anime character because it's like, what, do you want to pick one of your own? Or
Right, that's what I was
do
thinking.
you just want to be like, oh, I hated that one
Punch one
guy.
of your own characters?
Well, no, dude. I played. You know what? I played someone that was a seriously messed up, abusive boyfriend, and I wanted to punch him the entire time.
I want to punch Yuki from Future Diary in the face.
Stuff like that. We're just like, oh.
Monema's pretty punchable.
Yes.
At some point in time, would you like to see Whis get in a serious fight?
Oh yeah.
You want to see it, right?
Yeah.
Like vulnerable, where it almost seems like
Where he's trying? Yeah. I think that'd be interesting. I hope it happens by the end and it's epic and
It's going to be angels versus angels. You just watch.
it'll be Whis versus a Goku belly. Something.
One more question.
Last one. Boom.
Speaking of Whis fighting, do you think he would scream in a fight? Like, do you think he'd actually be able to scream?
How far does Whis have to be pushed before he does a power scream?
Whis' fighting style is closer to like Wing Chun, which is all about redirection and stuff like that. So that's not actually something where you have to exert extra like force. It's more about wing. No, I don't think he needs to scream. I mean, except for like, I beat you. Thank you all so much for coming to our panel.
Y'all have fun.
Come see us. We're in the dealer's room all day. We're here tomorrow too. You here tomorrow?
Come see the comedy show tonight at 7 p.m.
Right here.
Free whoopee cushions.
Yes.